Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to the Voices of the Vanguard. Today I have with me Sully from Sully Games. Say hello, Sully.
Hello, Guardians.
And we also have a special guest with us today. He goes by Anna Bray Tech on Twitter.
The Valkyrie is online, Guardians.
Not gonna send an ogre?
Yeah. So we saw that cutscene earlier, like last week, or was it this? I don't remember. With Osiris versus Rasputin. I guess you're picking the Rasputin side.
Oh, all day. All day. I could never go against my homie. That's my partner in crime right there.
I think we both said Osiris, didn't we? Did we both say Osiris?
Yeah, we both said Osiris because I don't want to...
I can't. Okay, and your guys' Twitter handles are what now, so I can block you?
CSG Thomas. But no, like, tell the audience out there about yourself. Just whatever you want to say.
Well, those that are listening, they do know me as Anna Bray Tech on Twitter. I kind of just, one day I was sitting on my couch, and I followed, like, the Cryptarch, and Hive God King, he made an account, and, like, he used to mess with me on my Pokemon account. And I was just sitting on my couch one day, and I was like, I'm going to make an Anna Bray account. Let's see how it works. And, like, I tweeted the Valkyrie is online, and then I followed the Cryptarch. He quote tweeted me and said, go pick it up, and then the follow started dinging. I was like, oh, man. And then somebody posted a red nose challenge or whatever. So I broke the fourth wall, and I posted a selfie of me wearing a red nose. And people are like, oh, my God, you're a guy. And then it kind of turned into a personal account there. So I still play Anna Bray, but, like, yeah, it turned into a personal account. And it got a lot bigger than I expected it to. A lot bigger.
Yeah, because when Sully, like, approached me, he's like, oh, yeah, like, Anna Bray wants to join. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we both thought you were a girl. And then I looked at your
we weren't
Mixer
really
account, and I was like, oh, you're a guy. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I've had people block me. Like,
really?
they DM me.
Come on.
Yeah. And then, like... They're like, yeah, I seen your stream last night. You're a guy. And then, like I said, you cannot direct message so-and-so anymore.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, okay, sorry to crush your hopes and dreams.
I was just happy we're getting a guest on our podcast.
Yeah,
so I was
totally.
like, I'm not really for sure like who this person is exactly, but I just like, they tweeted out that they want to be on some Destiny podcast.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
I don't care what you are, but you're going to come on our podcast.
Yeah, we've had, I do want to take a quick second. If there's any pro wrestling fans out there, check out the Smacked Raw podcast. I host the AEW side. And the reason I plugged that is when we first started, we got a couple guests from other podcasts, and I had a blast. Like, they mix it up. They throw different flavor into it, and it's not the same thing every week. So I enjoyed that. But yes, check it out. Smack Raw podcast. I am an AEW fan. I host the AEW side. If I had to choose between AEW or WWE, I'd be with Jericho and Moxley all day. Sorry.
Oh,
guys.
hell yeah. Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah, Kenny Omega. He's gonna lose them titles though. He's gonna lose them.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what they're
times.
gonna do with Hangman Page and this whole thing. Anyway, we're leaving Sully behind here.
Wrestling. I mean, it's cool.
I was at SummerSlam.
It's definitely not
last
for everybody.
year, like front row, so you can actually see me while I was there.
That's good times.
That's
good times. So stirring back onto the subject.
Right. So we did have some questions for you. Or Sully came up with some questions for you.
Let me find that list real quick.
Scroll all the way up to the top. So
you guys started talking about.
Okay, so you already talked about content, but do you do any Destiny content as well, like streaming or videos?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I take that back. I stream mixer.com/therealscitech, _real_sitech. It's not all the time, but yes, I do stream once in a while.
Cool.
All right, so the most important question is, what's your main class?
Warlock Master Race.
I love you.
I started out as a Titan, and I played. I started out in Dark Below. Okay. I started out as a Titan, and I had 6 real life friends that played. And they were like, no, we need a warlock. There's 6 of us and no warlocks. I'm like, but I'm already level 8. They're like, so what? I'm like, okay, donk. I deleted my Titan, started a warlock. Here I am.
Wow.
Right there. Beautiful. Keep calm. I got self-res.
So you're a warlock cosplaying as a hunter.
Yes. When people ask me, like, they do drop the jokes, Anna, you're a hunter. I'm like, but I was born a hunter, but some people are something different than what they were born, okay? I like being a warlock. No. So yes, I pulled the cosplay card and it got a couple laughs.
Very cool.
Nice. No, that's awesome. We need more Warlock mains.
Our clan,
I agree.
Our clan initially started off with me as a Titan and everyone was a Hunter.
Yeah,
Nice,
I
nice.
used to main Warlock back in D1. And then when I swapped over to PC, I was like, all right, because I've mained Titan, I mained Warlock, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to main Hunter on PC. Well, once we started building this clan up, like, we kept raiding all the time. It was literally 5 Hunters and 1 Titan. And I was just like, okay, I need to make a Warlock, because this is when the well was, like, auto-reload. I was like, we need this well, so...
Yeah.
And then ever since then, I went back to being my Warlock, so...
See, everybody wanted Warlocks back in the Crota Bridge days.
Yep.
When you needed that Warlock for that self-res,
Yep.
that was good times. That was good times.
It was.
Fun fact, though, when Destiny 2 came out, and they showed you everything you did in Destiny 1, showed you what date you beat everything on, and the fire team you beat it with, my first Oryx kill was 6 Warlocks.
Ooh.
I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that. It's good times. It was 1 friend and 4 LFGs, and we were all Warlocks.
That's kind of insane, actually, to have
Yes.
a full fire team of Warlocks and not be, like, a set group. Like, interesting.
Yep, that was back in the no night days. I remember them days. Like, the ogres roam free. Don't kill them yet.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else we have for you? All right. Well, since you brought up Crota's End, what is your favorite raid in D1?
This actually has 2 answers: a logical answer and a better answer.
Okay.
The logical answer is King's Fall.
Okay.
King's Fall is a phenomenal raid. The encounters are great. Golgoroth is very fun to kill. But my actual answer is Vault of Glass for nostalgia purposes.
Okay.
I was there for it. I killed Atheon with 6 or 5 real life friends. No LFGs. We all talked. We had cell phone numbers. We hung out. We partied. So my first raid was with real life friends, and then that kind of stirred away.
Okay.
So my favorite is Vault of Glass, but the logical answer is King's Fall is like the best put together raid. It's a very good raid.
I think King's Fall is fantastic. I still think VOG's the best overall raid. But kind of going with you, actually one of my favorite raids of all time is actually Crota's End, because I had just so many just funny memories doing that raid, and just always had a really cool raid group back then, and we just had a lot of fun with that raid.
We had
and the bugs in
Crota,
that raid were just hilarious.
Yes. Speaking of the bugs, we didn't know anything about it. We went in just trying to, do it right. And then there were 4 of us left out of my real life friends, and then we got 2 LFGs in. And they're like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, trying to get the boomers and kill the guy for the sword. They're like, "No, just come over here on the ledge." We're like, "Wait, what?" And boom, we had him down in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You guys have no idea how long we spent on this raid trying to beat it legit."
Yeah. Well, one time we're actually doing one of the other founders of this clan. I used to raid with him all the time back in D1, and he would always run sword on Crota. Well, he was running sword as a Titan, and he got done running his sword, and he was getting kind of hit pretty hard. So he popped a bubble down below, and no lie, no later than 2 seconds later, Crota jumps off the edge into the bubble and kills him. We're just on it. It was awesome. Dude, we just started busting up laughing.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. The best was when he came into the room. Like, oh my god.
Yep.
Where did he come from?
Yeah. Dude, the bugs. Spire definitely has a lot of bugs, but Crota had some crazy bugs. But that was just such a fun one. Then what's your favorite raid in D2?
I've only done the first 2.
Oh, really?
Leviathan, and then the big bug dude after that. Honestly, I haven't raided in D2. I haven't done it.
Wow.
Like, my time to play has slowed down. So, like, I really only have time to, like, try to power level here and there.
Okay.
If a raid were to happen, I'd jump in for sure. But I just kind of stopped trying to build them. I just haven't done them.
I mean, no, we kind of going back kind of like before this clan started. I mean, if you don't have a good clan or some close friends to get a raid group going, I mean, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to find 5 other people to play with, and then messing around with LFG if you don't have certain weapons or certain power, or you don't know the raid. They just don't want to deal with you, so they're just like, bop, you're out.
I've taken the time, though, to build 4 Destiny 1 raids. Vault of Glass twice, a Wrath of the Machine, and a Crota's End. Okay. So I took the time to do that. That was worth my time.
Yeah, but no, yeah, hard out there if you're a solo player in Destiny and trying to raid.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah. I have my friends. I don't know. I just don't have the drive to do it anymore. Now, if you were to go back to Destiny 1 and raid gear was where it was at, I would make it happen.
Yeah, hopefully.
But raid gear is mediocre nowadays. It's not it's not how to get max level like it used to be. Raiding doesn't mean what it used to be.
No, I agree with you. And hopefully some of that kind of changes. That was kind of mentioned a little bit in the director's cut. We'll see if that happens. So going away from raids, what's your favorite weapon of choice?
Galahorn for days. I will never. They can bring out a gun that is better than the Galahorn, and I will call you a liar to your face.
I still personally believe we're going to see Galahorn in D2.
It should happen.
I
don't know.
I think it's going to happen.
I think over the past couple of weeks, you keep saying it's going to be in the new season.
Yeah, we've been saying that. I mean, especially with like the nerf, the snipers, and grenade launchers.
Yep.
And they've kind of talked about how they want to bring rocket launchers up. I mean, that would be a great way to kind of introduce rocket launchers and bring back a fan favorite weapon of Galahorn. Right. So
it definitely wouldn't be as good as it was. I mean, it'd probably be even worse than like Rise of Iron.
Yeah,
but
it would still probably be the best.
I wouldn't care.
It'd be the best rocket launcher.
I'd take it for days. Like, give it to me for days. Now, if you want to go Destiny 2, I've been stuck on the Neil from Frost and the Braytech Winterwolf.
Okay.
I can't put them down. I absolutely love them, and it has nothing to do with being biased.
Are you sure?
Just a little.
But at the same time, I haven't really played as often as I did in Destiny 1, so I probably haven't really got anything. I'm sure there's better out there, but I can't put them down. I love them. Like, I'm still infusing them to this day. Like, when I get something new.
Hey man, whatever your
they're both masterworked. So that's another thing I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up my masterwork because it takes so much to do it nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And my last question, I don't know if we have any other questions from Kane.
I was just going to ask him, has he gotten Recluse?
I don't even know what Recluse is, man. I'll be 100% honest. Is that a PvP gun?
Yeah,
it is.
Okay, no, you won fight. Nope. I'll save what I was about to say for later when we bring up trials.
Okay, I remember seeing one of your tweets about trials, and it didn't seem like you were necessarily thrilled about it.
Not at all.
Last question from what I came up with. Why do you enjoy Destiny?
Friendships.
Okay.
That's the base answer. Friendships. If you're a solo player, Destiny's fun, but it's not that fun. The memories that Destiny creates is what makes Destiny great. Like, I jumped into a fire team recently. We were gonna do Crimson Doubles.
Okay.
And I tweeted out, I need a date for Crimson Doubles. I ended up getting 5 dates. I played with 5 different people that week.
Getting around there.
But I got on, and she was like, I need to beat the arms dealer. I'm like, you haven't beat the arms dealer? She's like, it's for the Vow Bow. I'm like, oh. She goes, and my boyfriend needs it too. I'm like, does your boyfriend have an Xbox? She's like, he's sitting right next to me playing. I'm like, why are we doing Crimson Days? What are you doing? It took us 4.5 hours to beat this strike, but we did it. But I mean, we were all low level.
Oh, okay.
Like I hit like 766 this week, but this was a couple weeks ago. I was still like 730.
Okay.
Like I had Pokemon came out. I won't lie, Pokemon came out, and I went months without playing Destiny. I touched this season for the first time 3 weeks ago.
We actually
But it took us 4.5
somebody-
hours. And that's a memory right there I will never forget. That's what I love about Destiny.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of great memories.
I do. Speaking of memories, a story that I tell when I'm with somebody new, I constantly tell it. I will censor the one word, but the one word has to be in there because it has to be just okay. King's Fall. I joined a War Priest LFG group. Okay. And I spawned in, and they're like, "We need you on right side." I'm like, "Okay." So I knew what I was doing. I've done the raid before, and I was on right side, and like the acolytes had just came out, and I died. I'm like, man, this dude's gonna kick me because I wasn't even alive 5 seconds. And another dude says that's a wipe. He died, and he went and he jumped into the black ball. The guy kicked him and says nobody effing calls wipe in my fire team. He booted the guy. And we went with 5. I'm just like, okay.
So
I stayed
that
on
guy
right
sounds
side.
kind of like me. I'm just like, that's not wipe. Why are we wiping?
Right.
Wipe for
He
damage.
booted the guy. We went on with 5. And like we beat War Priest, but we didn't get any further. But oh my god. I muted my microphone. I'm like, I'm not gonna be the first one to I'm not everybody else is dead first. I'm not doing it.
Nice.
That's funny. All right.
It's good times.
Kane, do you have anything?
No. Next topic, I guess, is what we're doing in Destiny. I don't remember. I've just been helping people, I guess, with like weapon quests here and there, pretty much. But I don't really remember what I've done over the past week.
I mean, I know you did the raid with us last night.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's good times.
yeah.
I am personally just trying to power level right now. Like I said, I was gone for a while,
Okay.
and that's really about it. And I was trying to do something else last night, but I'll save it for later because it ties into another subject we're going to talk about.
Okay.
As to why I didn't do it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Night Falls, Pit of Hearsay.
And you're on
about
Xbox,
it.
right?
Yes.
I wish we had cross-platform play so bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just go real quick. I also farmed a couple kills for Lunas, for Not Forgotten.
Okay.
It's not so bad. The last few matches I had, I went on a little bit of a win streak there. So
Yeah,
maybe
I think
I'll get to
That's
Legend
always
next
fun.
next season.
next season. Who knows?
This has probably been the 1 week where I really have not played a whole lot of Destiny, actually. I played the raid last night with some of the clan members, but other than that, man, I've been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov. But definitely need to get back into getting the groove on playing some Crucible because Trials is making its beautiful return on March 13th.
Yeah, so we got a trailer that dropped yesterday for the Return of Trials after we completed the beacon for the Imperium Foundation.
Yes, and we got that beautiful, beautiful trailer showing off a lot of the old armor and old weapons, which I'm so happy they actually made that smart choice. Like, that was my biggest concern was, okay, they're going to bring Trials back. They're going to mess it up by not giving us the sweet loot that we want. And I thought that was a perfect call to bring back what we had in D1 and bring it forward because a lot of people have nostalgia with that armor and those weapons. And I was like, awesome, great job, Bungie. You did something smart. There's going to be card-based matchmaking with connection-based. I was like, awesome. And then I see power level advantages. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Like, I wanted power level, but just make it pinnacle. Don't add the artifact in there, please. And they're like, no, artifact's gonna be
they confirmed it's
turned
gonna be
on.
the
And I'm just
artifact,
like, I was like, come on. But they did a lot of right, so hopefully maybe there's a lot of feedback, and maybe there's.
Have you not seen
there
the
is,
feedback?
there is, but maybe they take the feedback in, or maybe artifacts get adjusted hardcore next season, and we don't really see like a huge level increase like what we're seeing now. Because I think I'm plus 20 for artifact.
I personally say take the artifact away because my favorite thing in Destiny since I started playing 5 years ago was hitting max light. If I can't raid this week, if I can't do the Nightfall, if I can't go get the Recluse, if I can't get the Last Word, I can do Nightfalls and get power level. Mm-hmm. I can be max level and be happy. Now there is no max level. I got to keep chasing and keep chasing and keep chasing. It's not that big a deal. It's not a complaint. I'm not going to stop playing the game, but I don't like the artifact. I don't like that it can keep going.
Yeah, I have a very love-hate relationship with it, and we've talked about it in past episodes, but like I like that there's always like a number to chase. Like you're always like chasing a number, but at the same time, like I feel like they brought in the artifact. They kind of help like bring the casuals up to the hardcore players so that they weren't like at such a huge disadvantage in terms of power level so that, they could do Iron Banner and compete with them or maybe hop in, do raids and not get destroyed. But then it kind of flip-flop because now if you're playing a lot and your artifact is really high power, it's making a lot of the PvE activities too easy. And it's also really hurting Iron Banner because if you have somebody at a 968 and they run into a Guardian that's at 990 plus, they stand no chance. Like,
right.
So like it really backfired on them. So like I'm kind of like at this point, like I would like to see it go. I don't think the artifact will be staying with us. I could see it going away in September when the next expansion comes out. But yeah, at this point, like I liked it at first. It was a cool concept, and it kind of backfired. I'm like, okay, you tried it out. It's cool, but it's kind of making Destiny too easy and hurting PvP, and it could really affect trials. So I'm like, at this point, just get rid of it. Like, it was cool. Nice try. Like, I don't think it was a disaster. Like, sometimes things just don't work.
Right. So, or if you're going to keep it, cap it. Like a plus 10.
Yeah, that too.
Plus 5,
you could
plus
do that.
10.
Or, like, if they could somehow, if they can turn it off in PvP activities. And so, like, it doesn't affect Iron Banner or doesn't affect trials. Or then at the same time, if they could also basically give us like hard raid mode, like prestige raids, and it also disables your artifact. So then whatever power you go into, like that's your power. So it makes things like more challenging. So
yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I personally like the +5 mod system that they took away that everybody hated. I personally liked it. That was there you go. You want to give me a +5? I mean, you're going to be chasing mods anyway. I personally liked it. I mean, it could have been reworked, but I like the plus going in that direction. But nothing's perfect.
No, it isn't.
They might have something up their sleeve because I'm not going to do trials. I don't care. I mean, I might do it with some friends here and there, but I don't care. I'm happy that it's coming back for those that are going to do it. Don't get me wrong. But obviously, I see that it's bad and they shouldn't have done it. That's not from experience, but I see that's where the problem is going to be. I don't want to go in and get smashed by a level 1000 that plays Destiny for a living and I have 2 hours a week. I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's my biggest concern is, like, you do want to match up with your buddies or people that are doing trial carries. You know, like, it really hurts, you know, because there's a lot of times where a trial carry is doing somebody that's, you know, only gets to play 5 or 6 hours a week, and now they're already at a huge disadvantage in terms of power because now, and they could be close to max pinnacle, but their artifact is +5, and you have these other guardians who are max pinnacle on top of a +20 in artifact mod. So now it's just like, well, there's a double disadvantage for this dude that's in here playing trials. So
that's not to mention that, like, all the new people that will come in, you know, they'll all be like 750 while they fight off like 960s.
Well, I mean, I think at that point, I mean, come on, like,
I do gotta plug it out there that I played Iron Banner with iFapebringer, and he hasn't played in ages. He was like a 930. I'm like, dude, you're about to get smoked. He was topping boards. He was topping the board.
See, skill trumps power, man.
Get out of here. So, yes, that's kind of why I said that. He's just like, got him.
Yeah, no, I agree. And if you are
He's
really
like, got him. I'm like, Jesus Christ, 5 kill streak. I'm like, you're out of control, dude. So he was plugging it, but that's a rarity, man. Not everybody can do that. I could be level 1000 against your 970. I'm going to get got. I mean, I'm not that good. But it is what it is, man. They might have something up their sleeve with the artifact, and maybe that's why they're like, we're going to enable power levels and we're going to monitor things.
And that's
when they know that
that's
it's
what
broken.
I'm hoping on is whenever. Let's see if Twab's up. So I feel like
I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to do anything about it throughout the whole season. I'm telling you right now.
Probably not.
They probably have it up their sleeve that they're going to fix it, but like they're going to let us suffer and then be like, look, we're heroes now. We got this fix. And then everybody's like, yeah.
Probably. But you're not wrong.
I mean, you make us appreciate it more that it was broken and then fixed rather than fixed before it broke, maybe.
I'm just happy that they're bringing it back. I mean, this is something that the PvP communities kind of wants. You know, from you playing Destiny, I mean, you know how, I mean, trials really help kind of keep the game relevant. Because on the weekend, like, hey, it's time to party up with, you know, my buddies or all the content creators that are doing trial carries, you know, have something to do.
I was doing trials one time. And back when Destiny 1 had the streamer emblem.
Okay.
and we got into 3 guys that had the emblem, and I'm like, I bet you we're on one of their streams, and sure, I forget who it was. Sure enough, we were on one of their streams. So rather than shooting, I just sat there and did the wave emote when they jumped in front of me. And then after the match, I got a message that said my viewers said hi. I'm like, right there, memory. Boom. It's so great. I was going to lose anyway. I'm not out to win. I'm out for memories.
Yeah.
He's like, my viewers said hi. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It worked.
No, and trials
so
is
good.
a lot of fun. Just kind of, I really don't have. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. We have a few good PvP people in our clan. I don't know if I'll ever go flawless in trials, but I'm definitely gonna just hop in, play with my clan mates, and just shoot the shit and just have fun. You know, like
Yeah, it's
Yes,
it's
sir.
actually caused some of our people in our Discord and some of our clan members to come back. It's like, hey, Trials is back. Time to level me up, guys.
yep.
Yep, I'm not worried about it at all. It might come up, hey, do you want to do trials? I'll say yes, but I will not go out to find it. And if I never do it again, I won't lose any sleep.
Yeah, no, that's completely fine. Like that, you're not gonna play trials, but like there has been a lot of negative feedback with the PvE community saying like, oh, we're getting only this trials activity for next season, which we don't actually.
We don't
know yet.
Also,
No,
they
yeah,
seem to be
right.
saying that, from what I've read online, is that this is going to be sticking around. It's not just for the season, and it's also going to be free to play, like for the free to play people.
Yeah,
well.
it is. Yeah, which we'll see how that works out because that's there's been a lot of issues with on PC. I don't know so much on console, but PC definitely has a lot more hackers and people getting DDoS. But so we'll see. Hopefully they kind of figure out.
I just
like,
want to say real
system.
quick to be controversial, but I'm pretty happy with the power advantages because I'm usually pretty high power. So personally, I'm taking advantage of it, man.
You need.
I need all the crutches I need, man. Put the one-eyed mask on. Get my Jotun out.
Oh, yeah, you need all the help you can get.
I'm all about getting help. I was talking to a guy at work the other day. I've been playing Breath of the Wild since it came out, and I haven't beat it. I'm completely lost. I don't know where I'm at because it's been on and off. And I was like, I'm going to look up a walkthrough. He's like, man, it ain't fun looking up a walkthrough. I'm like, what do you mean it ain't fun? I'm going to delete my game, start over, and follow a walkthrough to a T to the end. You know what? I'm going to beat the game. I enjoy it. I enjoy crutches. I enjoy help. I enjoy carries. I got carried through, what is it, Argos? Is that the second raid from Destiny 2? Siva Tech was like, let's do a raid. I was like, okay. I was like, but I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, just shoot things. And that's literally all I did.
That's what I always do. If I have...
That's all I did.
We do an LFG
so
and somebody doesn't know the raid, like I'll do my best to kind of explain, but I always give them, okay, you're just killing shit. Just worry about killing the
Just go play
ads. The
Gambit.
rest... Yep.
That's the best.
The rest of my clan who knows what they're doing, you guys have this
Me
job.
and Sully are builders.
We're going to get this raid done, and...
Yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of those people have kind of stuck around our clan and are now fairly active raiders and doing raid Sherpas. So
They're pretty confident now.
yeah, they are.
It's pretty cool. So next topic we have is we're gonna go over the director's cut that came out. Yeah, was it that today? No, yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Okay, so yesterday. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull this up. But the first topic at hand here is legendary weapons. Will have fixed values for how high they can be infused. So let me find the quote here regarding that while Sully talks.
Let me pull it up too.
Damn it! You're supposed to vamp.
I vamp. No, I don't do that. Come on, Kane, you know better. But this is very interesting to see this be kind of brought up again. I'm kind of mixed emotions that they're doing this. In one sense, it makes complete sense because we've kind of got to a point to where, like, I'm literally running the same weapons season in and season out, which isn't a bad thing. It really isn't. But I do know he brings up a point to where, like, legendaries, like, guns just don't feel legendary anymore. Like, you literally, they keep bringing in these new guns. And, like, yeah, like, the easy option is to be like, well, just make them better. Well, at some point, like, you have to have some type of balancing. So if you just keep making guns more overpowering and more overpowering,
That's the power creep. There's no challenge anymore.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, well, how do you find like that balance to be like, well, how do we introduce new guns without, having stuff be too overpowering, but like at the same time, like.
So let me read the last three paragraphs regarding this in the section for weapons here. Back in 2014, the Vault of Glass weapons could be memorable because we knew they weren't going to be in the ecosystem for things like trials, nightfalls, and raids forever. They'd naturally fall by the wayside because power, attack, light in those days would make them obsolete. In the world we're imagining, we'll have space at the top end to create powerful legendary weapons, legendaries that are just better than other items in the classification. We'll be able to do that because the design space for weapons will expand and contract over time. Items will enter the ecosystem, be able to be infused for some number of seasons, and beyond that, their power won't be able to be raised. Our hope is that instead of having to account for a weapon's viability forever, when we create one, it can be easier to let something powerful exist in the ecosystem. And those potent weapons entering the ecosystem mean there's more fun items to pursue. Changes like this also mean legendary weapons or their talents would be shelved, could be reissued at a future date, or be brought back in fun ways by involving our community. More specific nitty-gritty for this will come a little bit further down the road, but we wanted to get some thinking behind it to you sooner rather than later. The simplest version of how it is going to work is legendary weapons will have fixed values for how high they can be infused. These values will project the weapon's viable in endgame lifespan, and we think that the lifespan is somewhere between 9 and 15 months. Final note, we're not applying this to exotic weapons at the time. We want to iterate on legendary ecosystem first. So it sounds like to me that they're trying to go, like, they keep calling it an ecosystem, and it sounds like they're going to revamp the whole weapon ecosystem eventually.
Which
it definitely needs done.
It does.
It really does. Like I said a little bit ago, I've used my Neil from Frost and my Braytech. Like, I got lucky. I got those like the first week Warmind came out. Oh, the second week. You only get one a day or one a week. It took like 2 weeks, and I got both of those. It's time for me to use something new. But the way I personally look at this is they're not taking my Galahorn away. Back in 2015, what you just said, the Vault of Glass stuff, they took my Galahorn away, and I was devastated. And when Taken King dropped or whatever, I think it was Taken King, right? That they did whatever.
Yeah.
The first blue I got was a rocket launcher. So the first gun I lost was my Galahorn. And I was devastated. I adapted and I used other things. And I'll admit, I was happy once I was able to use my Hard Light or my Fourth Horseman or anything else because I didn't have a Galahorn. I could do anything. But when you had a Galahorn, it was it. I'm not using anything else. I'm using my Galahorn.
Yeah.
So I'm not losing that. Nerf all the guns you want. Take them away from me. Give me new guns. I'm not losing my big boy. Nothing will ever compare to when I lost my big boy.
Yeah, and it is kind of like they're in a weird situation because now we're in year 3 going into year 4. So like there's definitely a lot of guns in the ecosystem that I would say probably most Guardians have never touched. Like they get it and they're like, well...
Break.
Yeah. Break, or hey, we're going to use this to infuse into this weapon. And like, as I said, kind of like starting the statement, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because you're using the weapons that you want to use. But at the same time, he brings up in that post that obviously we know their resources are limited now compared to a few years ago since they separated with Activision. Well, if they're using those resources to make weapons that nobody's using, like, what's the point? But at the same time, if you're not bringing in new weapons, then the community's like, well, why aren't we getting new stuff? But we never use the new stuff, so, like...
so why make it? Yeah.
So why make it? But, like, so, like, I do kind of have... Like, they do have to kind of figure out that balance. And it's not like... I mean, 9 to 15 months, I mean, if they did a year and you had... Say, like, that started this September when the new expansion comes out, and you had, like, those legendaries last for a year. honestly, I mean, that's not too bad, like, in my opinion. Like, you have a year to, like, use these new weapons, and maybe the next year around, or maybe throughout this, they have the seasons again, and they bring back, a weapon that you loved, and you re-got it or something. I don't know how if they would redo that stuff, like, say, if you had, like, a Sacred Provenance, and, like, they time gated that, but then they brought that back. Would you have to go and reacquire it, or would
reuse it, or could you infuse your old one?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
So, like, who knows on how they're gonna do that? Like, if it's kind of similar to back in Destiny, where you kind of had to go and find the new weapon again. So it'd be interesting to see on how they do that. But, like, as I said, I had mixed emotions with this. I saw that there was a lot of negative feedback with this. But something does need to happen with the ecosystem, because, like, there's just really no point to spot. Like, I keep using my Recluse because there's just nothing better than Recluse.
And Izanagi, let's go.
Also, doesn't that take, like, hours and hours of PvP to get? Isn't that, like, a pedestal
maybe
gun?
back
that's
in the
like,
day, but, like, it's
back
pretty
in
easy
the
to
day.
get now,
It's much easier to get now with
floors,
the solo queue
and
the
the floor ranks that they have.
Yep. Yeah. So it's definitely back in the day. Yes, it was a lot harder to get, but it's good. Like, there just really isn't anything else really to use. So, like, I'm just gonna keep using Recluse. But then again, I'm using the same loadout, so it just feels boring.
Yeah, like last night I was using Steel Feather Repeater, and I can't even remember what the other stuff I was using. But then I was
Which is actually fairly good.
Yeah, and I was like, this isn't taking them down as fast as Recluse does. So, like, I just swapped back, and I was like, this, like, you want to load out that's optimal, but if that's the only loadout that you use, then there's no fun. It's not fun. You're restricted pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It did wonders back in 2014 when they did it. I think they'll do wonders again. They know what they're doing.
I think a lot of people are going to be very, very salty about this.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be salty about everything, though. That's the problem.
No, and you're completely right. Because, like, when they nerfed Izanagi's, like, I even said back in, like, shortly after Shadowkeep, I was like, at some point, like, this gun is going to get nerfed, because literally they want to try to get away from the situation back to year one of D1, where literally if you didn't have Gallo, like, everybody literally ran the same loadout for all raids. And I think once they start to see a weapon being used at a very high level for PvE in-game activities, I think that's when they're going to be like, okay, this gun's going to get a nerf. And
let's switch it up. Let's get something else.
Let's switch, and then maybe next year, a year after the nerf, maybe they bring Izanagi's back up. Everybody's reusing it. Like, the community is at times too afraid to adapt to change.
Valid.
There are some.
Go ahead. You finish your point. I'll say something.
There are some areas where, like, change is bad, and they have done some bad change in the past, and, like, I think they have kind of corrected themselves at times. But as a community, like, we have to, like, realize, like, this is a live world game. Like, we have to learn to adapt to what they're going to give us. And every time something has been nerfed, something comes up, rises from the ashes, and is, if not the same, like, quality, it may even be better than what we have now. So
valid. I think we'll survive.
We will.
So I think for those, I think they should protect the god rules though that you get, because a lot of people spend a lot of time trying to get the perfect roll for their gun, and if they're gonna shelve that and then make you have to re-get it, there should be a way to either save that god roll, like be able to bring it over into the new gun. Or B, if they're gonna, like, completely rework weapons, like, just completely rework the weapon, I guess. Like, just for the better, not to...
Yeah, no, and I agree with you, because there was a pulse rifle back in D1 called the Hopscotch.
The Hopscotch Pilgrim.
Yeah, I had a god roll back in when they introduced that. I'm pretty sure that was what was that? House of Wolves? I think that was introduced. I think that's when it was introduced as House of Wolves. But then when they brought that back in year 3 in Destiny with Rise of Iron, you had to like re-earn the hopscotch. So I lost my god roll. So like it wasn't up to power. So I was just like, really? Like, and I could never get another god roll. And I think they actually removed one of the perks that you could actually receive on the new one that the old one had. And I was just like, well, okay. I guess I'm not using this gun. So, but yeah, I'd be interested to see on how they do that, if they like reintroduce legendary weapons. But I'm really happy that Luke Smith does these director cuts. I think they're fantastic reads.
Yeah.
And I think he introduced this at the right time too.
Yeah.
I like how he explains everything in detail. We're not just taking your gun away. Okay, there's a reason. Okay,
Yeah.
It's an ecosystem. It's a living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
And it has to adapt.
Guns are a currency as well.
It's good times.
Yes.
Yes, valid.
But I just what you said, Sully, just made me think about the perks in the town system, and maybe they're thinking of ways to like change that up a bit.
Maybe.
Yeah. I did write in here to you, just so I wouldn't forget. What do you think if they go back to the old like D1 system of leveling your weapon? Like, would you be interested in that, or say no?
Personally, no.
Yeah. Same.
Because I mean, I like the grind, but at the same time, I understand why they got rid of it, because it was just one of those tedious grinds. Like, I remember back like when Destiny first launched, like we obviously didn't have the spider and we weren't funding his army that's probably going to come and attack us at some point. But I remember just going to the planets and just farming the planetary to be able to level up my weapons. And at that point, I'm just thinking, I mean, obviously now you can buy them, but like I'm at this point, like, really, like, that it's not necessary. Like, I feel like it's almost too much. Like, but if they brought it back,
burned out.
I was like,
burned out.
what is he doing? But I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but like, I'm not like, oh, they need to bring this back.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
This would be crazy.
Yeah, it was
like,
just a question I had.
Yeah, no,
interesting.
And I think it's a good question.
Chrissy, wait, real quick. Chrissy in chat wants to know, what was your god roll on your hopscotch? Do you remember?
It was. God, what was it now? It was counterbalance and radar stays active. God, what was that?
Oh man, radar active. That was the best in Iron Man.
And it was another
Mask of the Third Man for days.
It was another range for the tier 3. Like, it was nasty. I just remember just absolutely wrecking with that gun. And I love pulse rifles too. But yeah, it was Third Eye. Third Eye was the radar one. So, and I can't remember what was in the middle tree. I'll have to go back and look at my D1 weapons.
It's good times. I like going back to look at my D1 weapons because there's a Galahorn in there, and I look at it.
Yeah, such a beautiful weapon, and it makes me kind of. I can't. What's the rocket this season that we received?
Pyroclastic.
Yeah, the.
Hey, I got one of those. I think yesterday.
The cosmetic thing for it to make it like change.
So make it look like Galahorn, yeah.
The ornaments, the ornaments. It looks like a Galahorn. I'm just like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going in. I'm looking at that. I'm making that happen.
It looks like a baby Galahorn. I'm just kind of like,
How do I get the ornament? Is it real money?
No, it's you can get it.
I'll buy it.
The season ranks. I think it's like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I didn't even look at that yet. Okay.
It's like 97 or something like that.
I just hit like 16, so.
F in chat, yeah. It's, I think 97 or 98.
Okay.
So.
That's another thing, is that they also have skins, weapon skin, ornaments for real money, for like silver, for these legendaries. So you're going to spend real money on a skin, and the gun's going to be obsolete.
You're going to be able to use it no more.
Yeah, that's such bullshit.
I mean, you can still use it just to mess around in Crucible, I guess. Still, I mean, because that's what I used to do with the hopscotch. But
if I give you $10, I want to use my $10.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But at the same time, I mean, warning, you may lose this gun if you want to give us $10, just so you know. I mean,
yeah,
Right.
this gun may never return again.
pros and cons. At least you can show it off to your friends that you have a fancy $10 ornament.
That you can never use.
So next topic we have is faction rallies. They're gone for good, but the gear is coming back.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed about this because I've kind of brought up in past.
I'm sorry, real quick. Chrissy said she has a bow at the moment, which has dragonfly and explosive head. Is that a god roll? That sounds pretty good.
I'm gonna
but
say no because it's a bow.
no. Bows
I'm not a
suck.
fan of bows.
I personally don't like bows.
Dragon.
And no, Chrissy, my mic's not on. Are you guys picking me up okay? I was told in chat I'm kind of low. And my audacity is good.
I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Maybe I'm just coming through
It's
low.
probably
on the
just my
stream.
mix, but let me take a look at that
Yeah,
again.
it could be.
So what was it? Dragonfly and explosive payload, correct? Because I know sometimes that like kind of explosive payload kind of messes up Dragonfly sometimes.
There was a gun in Destiny 1 that had dragonfly and explosive rounds. I forget which one it was.
Fatebringer.
Was it Fatebringer? Okay, because I remember my buddy was like, "No, you're not getting crits because of this," and I'm like, "Oh my god, it makes so much
You
sense."
probably
Yeah.
want like Archer's Tempo or something that makes it faster to shoot. If you're a fan of bows.
I hate bows.
I'm not a fan of
Yeah, I'm right there. They were cool. I think
I did get this guy. I got this guy in the face in Crimson Doubles, and he blew up. So
forgot
that was
Fatebringer, that's
amazing.
sad.
But, like that was it.
I was
was
early
it.
on in our clan's life. My friend was there, and we were doing Callus, and he was using a bow for damage.
Angelicalness never got Fatebringer. F in chat.
It was so funny.
Fatebringer was the only hand cannon I ever used religiously. I'm not bad. I'm not good with hand cannons, but I was good with Fatebringer.
Yeah, Fatebringer was fantastic.
Especially at Crota's lamps. Ooh, giggity. Have a Fatebringer and an icebreaker. I'm clumps of thralls. Goodbye.
Raid weapons actually felt very unique.
Yes, we were talking about that earlier. Why I don't really raid anymore.
Yeah.
They felt unique and they felt worth chasing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, no, not really.
Except for Sacred Province, if you like pulse rifles, run Garden because that pulse rifle
You got to get a
is
rapid hit though.
fantastic. Yes, you have to have rapid hit, but that pulse rifle will absolutely.
Do raid guns
wreck.
now have random rolls?
Yes. Yep.
That's kind of dumb. That's kind of no. Come on. I chased perks back in the day. Like the cocoon perk on all the Oryx weapons was so good. I personally liked it.
I kind of like having the random rolls just because like
It's another thing to chase.
It's adapting.
it's another thing to chase. It gives me a
It's
reason to keep
adapting.
going.
It gives you a reason to keep
into
running.
raid.
raid.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember, this made me think of when they first introduced infusions.
Okay.
And you had to infuse something like 2 or 3 times. Like you got your raid helmet, yes, but it's not of level, so you got to get another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you infuse that to make it stronger, but you still had to do it again. Oh, I got to go get another one. So you had to chase 3 of them, and then they finally were like, okay, look, it's going to be the same level now, but it's going to cost materials. Okay, that's cool. It's the same level. You had to do that stuff 3 times when they introduced infusions, man.
That was rough, man. I remember those times. It's crazy how
More to
far.
chase, though.
Yes,
More
you're
to
not-
chase.
You're not wrong.
So back to faction rallies.
Yes.
I'm excited to see some of the faction gear come back. It was pretty good looking gear. I don't know if the rolls on it are going to be any good, but
I'm sure that they'll probably be random now because back then they weren't.
is this going to be in your legendary pool?
Yeah. So I mean, I was sad to see factions aren't coming back, even though faction rallies kind of blew.
Yeah, the
it was
rallies
just-
were pretty bad. I never.
But
really
it was
did
just
well.
still
I
something.
agree.
Yeah.
It was still something to do, But I'm happy to see armor and weapons being added into the loot pool. So that's fantastic. So I'm happy to kind of see okay, we're not giving you factions, but here.
You could still get the stuff.
Here's the stuff, and it's just okay, that's cool. At least you're not just saying completely ignoring factions. They're getting some love, even though it may not be the love they deserve. But at least we know that Bungie's thinking about factions. Like, they're not completely just on the back burner about to be burnt and thrown in the trash.
Are you
because...
sure?
Maybe.
I don't understand.
Maybe, but like at least
like
they talked about it.
I was thinking about it like this is the end of factions for a while now. Like probably not forever, but like for a while it'll probably be gone.
At least like you can get the gear and weapons now.
Yes.
Like
I don't understand the problem with bringing them back though. Why can't I just go pledge to New Monarchy and gain some rep, and then every time I fill the diamond, give me a gun?
Yeah.
Yes, I completely
that's
agree
what everyone
with you.
wants.
I mean,
really,
like
it's simple as that. It's not hard at all. Make it even if not level, but just like it used to be. It's at freaking soft light, just like it used to be. But I've claimed New Monarchy since I started playing. But Dead Orbit had the hung jury with the freaking triple tap and the fireflies. So you know what I did? I was Dead Orbit for 2 weeks to get me a hung jury. And then I went back to New Monarchy. But I had a reason to go talk to the Dead Orbit guy. Now it's in random pools. That's cool. I can run around with a New Monarchy chest again. I'm all about that. But I want to get it from Homeboy, from New Monarchy, who I chose because he was by himself all the way on the other side of the town.
And I completely agree with you. Like, I think that's how it should be. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, super complicated. We don't need faction rallies. But, like, let me pledge to whatever faction I want to whenever I get completed activity, like Crucible Strikes. Let me get rep towards that. Once I fill that up, just like everything else, hey, you have a package. Awesome. Let me go see Dead Orbit, see what I have. Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be super complex, but like, I feel like that's what the majority of the community would love to have.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
But as I said, at least we're seeing something. So hopefully we can, as a community, can give them positive feedback and be like, hey, like,
yes,
we really want to be able to like rep these factions. And there's, I think, and I would actually be kind of cool to see the season after this one be kind of dedicated towards factions.
I'd be about it.
Like, there's a lot of war between those three. There's a lot of content that could be both PvP and PvE between just factions. So
my Warlock on Destiny 1 still has my freaking New Monarchy exotic Warlock bond. I never took it off.
There you go.
Good times. Good times. They definitely need to bring that back. But I'm cool with random.
Yeah, at least we're seeing
if I get it.
Something. Like, and at least they were mentioned in the director's cut and not just still nothing. Like, they haven't talked about factions since shortly, I think, after a few months after Forsaken was like the last time when they talked about factions, when they're like, okay, faction rallies.
Faction was probably like a month or two after Warmind, really. Like,
yeah, and then just boom. At least we got something, and we got it from the man himself, Luke Smith. So
yeah. I
can live with it.
My original faction was Dead Orbit because let's get the fuck out of here, man. We don't need to be here.
Yeah. I think I pledged to like. Except I don't think I pledged to FWC.
That was my second one. Yeah, that was my.
I think I had 2 on Dead Orbit, and then I had 1 on New Monarchy back in D1 because what was the shotgun from New Monarchy on House of Wolves? I remember that shotgun being.
I forget what it was, but I know what you're talking
incredible.
About. That boy was beast. Yes.
And so that's why I was like, okay, we're gonna have one of them just be New Monarchy, and plus you just had like the shader when they introduced the collections back in D1, so you're just trying to like get the shaders, the ships, you know. It was other things to chase, you know.
Yep.
My second most memorable drop ever was, but first is obviously my Galahorn when I finally freaking got it. But the New Monarchy ship.
I have a funny story about Galahorn.
I freaking squealed when I got that ship because it was so rare back in the day. And then I got one, and I was like, oh my god, yes. It was amazing. And then they started dropping like flies because that's how things happened.
Yeah, they do.
I got that ship, and it was so great. Bring us the factions back and give us that unicorn through them, that 1 in 1,000 drop. Yeah. And if I'm in a New Monarchy ship, you know that boy's rare, and I've played to get it.
Yeah, and like it's such kind of like an easy concept. Like it makes your hardcore players like really happy when you have an item that's not necessarily like game changing. Like make it as a cosmetic, you know, ship shaders, ornaments. You make it really hard to get. It just gives them more of a reason to hop on and do activities, like if it's Crucible Strikes or whatever, to keep chasing after just this random thing. And then when they get it, they're just like, oh my god, the bread is acquired.
Yep.
Like,
yes, sir.
It's so easy.
There was numerous times where my new Monarchy diamond was like a hair off, and I'm like, okay, it's bedtime, but let me go grab a couple bounties, and boom, up that rep. You know what I'm saying? Boom, fill that diamond. It made me play that much longer. And since I played that much longer, I wanted to play that much longer the next day, and I wanted to keep filling that diamond.
But
bring back factions, Bungie. Come on.
So, do you remember when you got your Gallahorn, since you keep bringing up Gallahorn?
Yes, I do. To the T. It was 2:30 in the morning. I was with an LFG group, and it was a Crota kill. And Crota had that glitch where if you got like a drop, and if you stayed in the raid, it just hung out. But when you left and a black screen happened, it glitched and it gave you a drop then too. And I wish I could show you guys the goosebumps right here going on. 2:30 in the morning, that black screen hit, my Gallahorn dropped. I left the party, nobody was around, I was by myself.
Nice.
I woke my wife up. I was like,
oh my god.
And then I'll never forget, I went and I found another Crota team just because I can answer. I have Gallahorn. All you guys with your must-have Gallahorns, I have one now. And I went in and I was like, yeah, I got Gallahorn. They're like, okay. I'm like, but I just got it. It's not leveled up. And they kicked me.
Yeah,
but I don't care. I got it. I had the key. I had the key. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I remember.
But yes,
always
2:30 in the morning.
People would come to our party chat and be like, "Hey, I don't have Gallahorn. Well, do you have Hunger or Crota?" Yeah. Okay, that's all you need.
The poor man's Gallahorn.
Yeah, but I remember actually when I got my Gallahorn as well. I think I was just kind of just chilling, and I had a clan member like hit me up. He's like, "Hey, like, we kind of need another person for Crota's End, like, you mind like hopping in?" So yeah, I'm running the raid with these guys, and we kill Crota, and this was back in the time because where it would pop up, it wasn't like a yellow engram would appear on the ground, and if your inventory,
I miss them days.
If your inventory was full, it wouldn't pop up.
Yep. It went to Postmaster.
And so I'm like, all right, it was late. I was like, all right, I got to work, guys. So I log off, go to work, get off work, come back home, hop into Destiny. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to always, first thing I always do is I'm going to swing by my Postmaster. Go into my Postmaster. There's a freaking Gallahorn sitting there. Had no clue that thing ever dropped. And I'm just like, what in the world? Like, what? Like, that is, like, the most random thing ever. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have Gallahorn now. I had no clue I actually acquired this gun, but awesome. I can finally do max DPS with everyone.
I did a Nightfall with my buddy, and he got it as his Nightfall drop. And, like, back then the Nightfall screen showed your drop or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, I was looking at my screen, and he was typing on his phone. I'm just waiting. I'm like, he's like, dude. I'm like, yeah. I've been staring at him, bro. He's like, dude. And then he started calling people. He's like, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
I got it.
It's funny.
That's how important that gun was. You made phone calls when you got it.
Oh, yeah. That and Vex Mythoclast was the other gun.
This is why they got to rework like the Legendaries and Exotics system. Because there's there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this anymore.
Yes. And I think there never will be because they screwed up with the Gallahorn. They did, but they didn't. That's why they took it away. Because like I said earlier, like I got all these sweet guns, but I'm not using it because I have a Gallahorn.
Yeah.
I'm not taking off my Gallahorn because Gallahorn.
Yep.
Void burn, so what? Gallahorn.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Like literally, that was pretty much all you used was Gallahorn. That was just chilling in your exotic spot. So.
So a couple of things I want to get to before our next topic is so in the director's cut, Luke Smith says this year's version of Seasons has too much FOMO in them, so we want to fix this, and next year's Seasons will have less. So they're looking to expand upon the core activities, like Strikes and Crucible, instead of making new seasonal activities. And I assume they're going to do this for next Season Pass specifically.
Yeah, probably.
Which is a good idea. I think they desperately need to work on the core activities. Like, that's what they should have been working on this whole time, really.
I'm completely cool not getting another baby menagerie.
But Sully. Vex offensive.
I mean, it's the greatest content we have ever received in Destiny. Don't get me wrong. That's why they need to rework this, because it's never going to be top.
Are they going to bring back Vex offensive as a core activity?
No.
No? God damn it.
No. But no, I would love to see them kind of focus on content that they do have and make it relevant. Like, I know he mentions strikes. You know, if it was something involving strikes, like, that's really cool. Like, I think I've done the sundial maybe 8 times.
Yeah.
Like,
I've done it way less than Vex
I've done it,
offensive
like, twice.
for sure.
Yeah, there's really just no need to run. I mean, especially because you don't have to actually do the sundial to get the weapons. So, like, why should I hop in and do the sundial when I can just grab these bounties and either donate my fractal line or just actually do the bounties?
I think I still have like over 12,000 fractal line I still need to donate, and I'm just too lazy. I'm like, I can't do this. Like,
I never linked the obelisks or whatever it is. I never.
Well, you
did
just
it.
said you just recently returned, so
Yes, and I figured I'm too late. Why even start now?
yeah. No, I feel you. But yeah, I'm glad that he kind of mentioned this, and yeah, the season's like, I mean, this season's definitely been a lot better than Season of the Undying. I think it's been a lot better than I expected it to be when they showed the trailer for it. Or not the trailer, but when they did the live stream. But yeah, I think the seasonal activities are just kind of taking up space. And once again, he talks about resources a lot in this director's cut. I think it's kind of a waste of resources, in my opinion. So
yeah.
I would like to see them go back to DLC in sheer 100% honesty. I don't like the seasons. Give me a whole mess of shit to do and let me do it at my pace.
Yeah.
Rise of Iron, you had Archon's Forge.
I honestly,
and then you had your Iron Banner coming back once in a while. You had a whole mess of things to do. This season was donate Fractaline. Okay, what else? Donate Fractaline. That's it.
I kind of agree with you, because I feel like, honestly, doing the DLCs would actually potentially be less of a headache, because obviously when we know you add new stuff into a game and there's coding involved, there's potentially errors that could occur. Yes. And every time they had an update, it seemed like this season when a new thing came out.
Yeah, there was a couple weeks there where every week
the game just got completely broken, and the game went down for, I think the one day it was down for like almost the entire day.
Most of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
because people's stuff was taken away.
Yeah, and I just feel like if they would just release everything at once, and then the occasional, maybe they do like a surprise mission, or like they do like Iron Banner, or like a hot
like
fix.
when a sleeper quest dropped.
Yeah,
it was a complete surprise. That was amazing.
And
it's one of the best memories ever.
Like, I feel like that would be easier to just kind of release all the content at once. And I kind of understand like their whole theory with the seasons, because if you slowly release the content, it constantly keeps people coming back to the game. But I feel like this Destiny community, like the people that are going to want to play the game are going to play the game regardless.
I have no problem with them doing what they did last year, where they introduced, like, again, they did the seasons, but you could go back and do everything that released during the seasons.
Yeah,
and that's what they're talking about, and that's a good decision, I think.
Yeah, and I do too. Like, because I know we actually talked about this, and you were actually, I think we might have both been for it, but I know for sure you were for it, about the seals, on how you can only obtain the seals if you complete it. And I feel like that's kind of a drawback too, like, kind of, and I do think we both agree. I know for sure you agreed, but like, you know, if you have somebody new or coming back, I mean, they can't obtain those seals, and like, not that that's, you know, huge deal or anything, but like,
it gives you something to chase when there's like no content.
Yeah, so like, I would almost rather see like them go away from that, because hey, you get a new player and then all of a sudden this new player really loves Destiny. Like when they do catch up, like that's what I'm doing right now, is just trying to finish off seals or finish off just
like I
random
went for
things.
some of those raid seals because there wasn't really a whole lot else I was doing, and we had a team that wanted to like get blacksmith, for example, and worked our asses off to get that enlightened as well.
And they're gonna be like, oh, what's this undying seal? Oh wait, I can't do any of this, so I can't obtain this seal. Well, this is kind of dumb. So I'm gonna obtain all these other seals and have these 2 to potentially, I'm assuming 3 seals.
Did you see that Flawless is a new title?
Oh, is
Nice.
it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Not surprised there that they're gonna make a Flawless or a Trials one, and they definitely should. Unless that's just like the new season.
Yeah, that's definitely something to show off when it happens.
Yeah, I think that has been one of the best things. Oh, they still haven't put up TWAB. One of the best things that they've introduced
Is there a
into
TWAB
Destiny.
happening today?
I'm going to Twitter,
Yeah.
but
All right.
the seals.
Cosmo F5.
So next up, quest log update.
My gosh.
Yes. So much this.
Yeah, I saw this and I was just like,
So
all right, this is kind
so
of like
much,
one
so
of those like super like kind of like a boring update in terms, but it's a much needed update in my
Yes.
opinion. Like it
Yes.
doesn't really affect anything, but it's like super cool.
We need a season
We
for
were-
UI design. Let's go.
Yes.
You guys asked me earlier what I was doing right now, and I said one of my answers I'm going to save for later.
Yes.
I never finished the forges, okay? I don't remember which one I stopped at. I think I unlocked at least 2 of them.
Okay.
And I was playing around last night. I'm like, what do I do? I'm bored with just doing strikes and getting drops. I want to do something different. I was like, boom, forges. I never unlocked them all. I never got Jotun. Let's see if I can get it. I don't know where I was at. I couldn't find it in the quests. I Googled, here's how to get all the forges. I'm like, but what step am I on? What? I gave up. I didn't do it. Why? Because the quest log is a cluster F of a stupid screen.
It is.
And they're fixing it.
It is.
If this was already fixed, I would have looked up what section are the forges in, and it would say, oh, section F. Okay, here it is. Boom. I'm going to go kill some forges. But because it was there and I couldn't find it, I gave up and I did not continue the quest.
Yeah.
And I'm over it. I don't want to do it
It
now.
is. It's especially if you haven't like you're a new player or like you're a player like that's maybe not playing on a main account, or you kind of take breaks and you're coming back. I mean, the quest log can just be so cluttered.
And all the stupid smoke ball things you get from Eris, the little mini quests that give
Yeah.
you weapons. I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. There's too many of them.
Yup. So and I was just like, oh, this is actually like really cool to kind of see like when they, you know, I'm a fanboy when they do UI updates. Like, so I was just like, awesome. Like, continue to make the UI look as pretty as possible, make it look as organized as possible. So like, I thought this was something that was like awesome. We're gonna receive this at is it next season?
I assume so. But the update is that they're adding categorization to the quest tab.
Yep.
So you'll have exotic quests to get their own category, as well as seasonal quests. Seasonal quest category contains all the quests that expire at the end of the season. Several categories, including one for older releases, Forsaken quests. This should help players focus on quests that are new and most relevant versus older content that maybe isn't as high priority. Also, it's just a way for you to look at older quests to see what you haven't done.
Yeah. So, and just make things less cluttered, makes things organized. Obviously, I'm assuming that they'll have so all your quests line are all together, and it shows like your most like recent one that you're working on. But like, I was like, oh, this is a really cool update. I know I kind of complained about this a few times throughout playing Destiny. It's not nothing I'm always like, oh, this quest line thing is a pain, but it is kind of like, all right, well, let me go and find this exotic weapon while I'm trying to, find it, and then, well, here it is. So I do kind of like how they are trying to make things more organized for us Guardians. So thank you, Bungie.
That is a good thank you, Bungie. Yes, it is definitely much needed. Much, much needed. Like you said, you're going to be able to look at old stuff. And you know how much more stuff is going to get cleared? because it's in the old stuff category. Oh, this is old. Let's do it.
Yep.
Or this expires at the end of the season. I guess I better do it now that it's organized in my face and I know what it is.
Also, New Light is going to get an update. Our goals for New Light last year were about bringing new players into the universe and getting them to the core activities as quickly as we could. We dramatically underestimated how many Guardians would wake up on the Cosmodrome. Going to improve the New Light entry this fall and flesh out starting experience in Destiny out. And I don't know about you guys, but the intro, the New Light stuff is pretty bad. It's you wake up on Cosmodrome, then you go to the tower, and then that's pretty much it from there. They don't really hold your hand.
No, exactly.
I deleted a character just to see it. To see it again. Eyes up, Guardian. But mainly it was to go get the freaking first ghost shell in the ship, which I still rock. That's my ship. The only reason I changed the ghost shell is because I bought the Omelon ghost shell, and I didn't have the original shader to make it a Pokeball. But I found one that works. It's super dirty, but it's red and white, and it's a Pokeball. I don't care. I got made fun of. Somebody's like, your Pokeball's dirty. I'm like, but it's a Pokeball. You call it a Pokeball.
Unfortunately, I actually had to delete all my characters, so I kind of really understand.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. You couldn't migrate them to PC?
No, I actually did a charity thing, and I actually deleted everything on my account. And,
hashtag respect.
And have had to rebuild and do a lot of quest lines over again. But
I wouldn't be able to do it. No charity in the world. I'm not going through all that stuff again.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really cool. Me, great cause. Yeah, I would easily do it again. I would definitely increase the money that needs to be raised. But
I actually jumped on my hunter a couple days ago just to do it. Like, I haven't touched either of my other two characters since before Forsaken. And the freaking questing in space that you got to hold L2 for lit up. I'm like, bye. I backed out. I'm like, I can't do all this again.
But yeah, I do know like they're paying because now everything on my account is technically a new light because I had to start over. And yeah, if I had no clue what I was doing, like, you would be so lost. Like, if you wanted to go back and like replay some of the old missions, they don't even tell you where to go to find them. Like, they tell you to go to every planet and talk to like every NPC, but they don't tell you to go talk to Amanda Holiday to pick up the old missions.
The story
and it's just
quests.
Like, yeah, and they do
of a new DLC.
Really, really bad job of like telling them where to go to find the old content. They do a good job finding like the new content to get you up to speed, which is like, I guess, cool. But like, let these new players know where they have to go if they want to play some of these old stories. Like, I mean, that's a lot of missed lore. I mean, not to say that like the Red War was a fantastic campaign, but it was still fairly good. You know, the DLCs, and then Forsaken, in my opinion, might be one of the best campaigns Bungie's put out. And not knowing where to go to do that, like not telling them, okay, this is what, in terms of like events, I'm like, this is where you need to play the Red War first, you need to play this to be caught up to where you are now. They do a really bad job at doing that. But I did really like to see that we dramatically underestimated on how many new Guardians would wake up in the Cosmodrome. Really like that, because that shows that they're bringing in a lot of new players. Now, are those new players staying? Yeah. Who knows? But that was really cool to see. Like, okay, like people are still paying attention to Destiny. Like, people want to play this game. People are trying it out.
Speaking of new Guardian, I have to plug a fast story.
Okay.
I also play on PlayStation.
Okay.
I don't have Shadowkeep, so if anybody wants to play on PlayStation, I'm down as long as it's free content or before Shadowkeep. Anyway, it was before crossplay, so I started from scratch. And I was doing one of the daily missions or whatever it was on freaking Nessus or Io or whatever, whichever one Asher Mir is on. And Asher Mir and Ikora were explaining to me who the Taken are because I was a new Guardian and didn't have Destiny 1 saved on my PlayStation. I'm like, I know who the Taken are. I know who they are. You can shut up. I kill Oryx. He's dead. He's dead because of me. You give me the option to not. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal, but I thought it was funny. I'm like, I'm not a new Guardian. I know who the Taken is, okay? I know who they killed.
That's funny.
That was good times. That was good times. And I did actually, I forgot to say earlier, talking about bringing content relevant. I forgot I wanted to plug, bring back the daily story missions. Back when you needed Ascendant shards and Ascendant energy, and you got 2 from the daily story mission. Okay. Bring it back. Bring it back. Give me a reason to do the daily story mission.
I'm actually not opposed to that.
After a month, like I have enough Ascendant, whatever. Okay, give me a month of doing daily story missions. My buddy was at my house. And we were talking about Destiny, and I was like, oh, we got to do the daily. He's like, oh, bro, he went home so that we could do the daily story mission and get our Ascendant energy. And then he came back. That's how important Ascendant energy was.
That's some dedication right there.
Bring back the daily story. Even if anything, I did the daily story every day, and then I logged off and went on with my life.
No, I'm not.
Sorry, I forgot to say that earlier.
No, you're good, man. I'm not opposed to that. I mean, once again, that's just more content. Like, I mean, I understand, like, at some point, like, we're in a situation where they keep talking about, like, they don't maybe have the resources. I know they talked about it in the director's cut that there's too much content in the game for them to, like, maintain. But
what's funny is it's already there. There's a daily story mission every day, but it gives you absolutely nothing. Okay. It gives you nothing. Just put in there, let me get the Master Core out of it.
Or
something.
Just give me a reason.
Even if it's pointless, I will go do it. Even if it's just Glimmer, I will go do it because I have a reason to do the daily story mission every day.
I might have. He fucking killed my stream. I was having audio issues. I was trying to figure out, like, how the fuck am I supposed to turn you guys up? You're maxed out. You're so fucking loud. I finally figured it out, and it killed them. Sorry, guys. But it's fixed.
Is the stream up now?
No, it's always been up. Yeah.
Okay.
I just killed their
I've been
ears,
talking in
all.
chat. I enjoy stream chats.
Rip the ears.
Is this better?
Yeah, just yell into the microphone. Put your whole mouth on the microphone for me. All right, we're good.
I do.
Galahad! I got the fucking Galahad!
We are getting a TWAB today.
Yeah, Cosmo is supposed to do it. That's why it's so fucking late.
Fucking Cosmo. I love Cosmo.
But
somebody get him in here. Somebody get him in this chat.
Yeah, really.
That would be insane. I've actually had the pleasure of meeting Cosmo a few times. So
nice.
He's a nice dude. He's actually
good times.
Really tall.
Really?
Like, I mean, I'm really short, but like, he's really
like
tall.
6 foot?
Like, I think he's over 6 foot.
6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
that's about my height.
I was like, I wasn't expecting him to be like fairly tall, but yeah, no, he's a super nice dude. Same thing with Deej. Deej is really cool too. I mean, if anybody ever gets the pleasure to like ever go to what is now GCX, but what used to be Guardian Con.
Really fast. I mentioned earlier Destiny and stories. I love my stories real super fast.
Yeah.
I have a Pokemon account, okay? And I have a thing where I ask like random accounts if they want to trade Pokemon cards. I have Charizard. Just like American Airlines, Wendy's, anybody that'll like listen. And I don't ever get responses. But Olive Garden didn't respond and say they already had a holographic Charizard, so they don't need to trade for one. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's so great. But I kept asking Deej. I kept asking him. Finally, he responded on the official Destiny account. And he was like, I don't have any Pokemon cards, but here's a Pokemon Go link. And it was 5 celebrities that play Pokemon Go. And then he deleted it. I was like, that's so amazing. Like, this is so great. Funny. I have that link in my favorites still just because. I'm like, that's so great.
Awesome.
But he deleted it so fast. I'm like, he took the time to plug it.
Was that back when he was in charge of like the community stuff?
Yes. This was like when Pokemon Go was like still new.
Okay.
That's why he linked me to something Pokemon Go.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, Deej is like.
So I know it was him on the Destiny account. I'm like, yeah. You got. You posted it on the wrong account.
Yeah, because they were the past few years that they've been at Guardian Con, man. Like you could, like if they weren't like doing stuff like at the Bungie booth and whatnot, and like if they were just out and about, like they would have like a massive line, and like they would always, hug everyone, shake people's hands. If you wanted an autograph, it was boom, here's the autograph. Little chit chat here and there because obviously there's a line for other people to see them. But yeah, they were always super friendly. Like they're the people that we really need to have, definitely leading the community because they love Bungie, they love their community. So I'm really happy that Deej, Cosmo, and DMG are involved with Destiny.
So let's go over some questions since we're still waiting. We got a question from Twitter. Sweet Evil.
Slow, not Cosmo. Guys, I got him.
Sick burn. Sweet Evilness asks, how many ogres have the Hive sent?
Approximately 2,932,000,000.
I'll say it doesn't matter how many ogres they sent if they're from the Shirochi encounter.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to say not enough because we keep killing them.
Alright. So
that's awesome. That's a good question.
Another question from Twitter. Ye African asks, what trial weapons do you want to see other than Waterstone and Doctrine of Passing?
I got nothing. I couldn't. You couldn't pay me $1 million to tell you a Trials weapon right now. You couldn't pay me.
Yeah, I didn't play a whole lot of.
I haven't played Trials ever, so.
What was the Scout Rifle? The Scout Rifle was pretty good. Here, let me look it up.
I've played it, but I don't know nothing.
Definitely the kitty cloak needs to come back. Obviously,
the kitty cloak was cool.
But what was the?
The only thing I remember ever getting from Trials was the I tried emblem.
Was the what?
The I tried emblem. The emblem that you get just for playing.
The Burning Eye was pretty good. Burning Eye, and then Blind Perdition was a pretty solid pulse rifle, but no, that's different. Let me look. Trials of Osiris. What was?
If the chat has any answers to this, you could say. I'll read them on the air.
Yeah, because I didn't really play a whole lot of Trials. I didn't really have a whole lot of PvP people.
Because PvP sucks. No, I wouldn't say that. I just don't like my PvP. I'm happy for those who are getting it though. Y'all do your thing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely needed. I don't know how much. As I said, unless my clan wants to play.
We'll be for sure playing with Ninja and Zaddy.
Zaddy will probably carry us. Dude, if we get Zaddy and Warmaw, that's an easy flawless right there.
Easy flawless, he says.
You can just sit back and eat your popcorn, King.
Sounds good to me, man. A box of popcorn right behind me.
Ninja's been popping off though here lately too.
You want me to just hide in the corner? You got it, boss.
Yeah, just die in the middle of the area and just make some call-outs.
So another question from a friend of the site, Jacob McCourt asks, how do you sell Destiny 2 to a new player right now? Which is a pretty good question.
No, that is actually a really good question.
I spent the entire day, I really did, trying to figure out how to answer this question. I really did. Maybe not the entire day, but it's been on my mind because that is a freaking excellent question. That's what you look for when you ask for a stream question. The answer I would give is compile a video from the community of having fun. Having fun with your clanmates, dropping jokes, streamers, regular people, everybody going nuts when they got their Galahorn or when they got the recluse or when they beat the raid boss. Yes.
That's probably the only thing that's
this compilation of me having fun doing what the game does. Because you can say, go get light level, go get gear, go get guns. Okay, why? I can do that in any other shooter looter. Yeah, but you can't have this kind of fun. Oh,
it's really. I really do think the raise is like the ultimate answer to this kind of thing because there's nothing like a Destiny raid out there.
Yes.
No, there isn't. There really isn't. First off, I would start off and be like, well, it's free. So, like, there isn't any, like, financial ties to it. And then I was like, you start playing it, and you enjoy it. Like, okay, you can make the purchase and kind of get the current content.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say, like you said, it's free. So, like, do some PvP, PvE, see what you like. And then from there, see if you know someone that has the game already and try and do some raids, maybe. Well,
I'm going to assume... Well, I mean, I guess I don't play on console, but I'm saying, like, if a buddy of mine who has a PC, like, if, you're on the same platform, like, you're going to have, like, this other person. But, I mean, yeah, it's free. I mean, on console, like, there really aren't too many other games that have better shooting mechanics than Destiny on console. It feels so good. And it's a nice mixture of stuff. Like, how I kind of, fell in love with Destiny. It was, like, kind of, like, the perfect thing for me. Because, like, I'm not good in Crucible, like, in PvP stuff. But, like, I'm not horrible. Like, I'm just, like... I like to just kind of have fun and play. I've always been more of, like, a PvE person. Like, all the old Call of Duties, I bought them mainly for zombies. And so I really liked the fact that Destiny had like a PvE element, but it was a first-person shooter, but the shooting mechanics felt really good. But it gave me the option of, hey, if I want to play PvP, hey, I can. But the game's built around, a PvE cycle. And as Kane said, there isn't anything that compares to Destiny raids for a first-person shooter. So...
There really isn't. There really, truly isn't.
So, but
yeah.
I mean, I would just start off, hey, it's free. If you mess around and you play some strikes and you kind of get like, you start seeing this loot drop, you hop in Crucible and you're like, oh, I'm having fun. Like, okay, then guess what? You can go and buy Shadowkeep for $30, and now you've only spent $30 and you have a ton of content to play.
Yeah, there's a lot for new people.
Yeah, there is.
A whole lot.
Now, I'm still finishing up old stuff. So, like, a lot of it's me being lazy and not finishing things. But there's definitely a lot of content available now. Is all content, like, really worth grinding for? Not really. But it's still... it's still there.
Yep.
Like, gives you something to do.
Still no TWAB, I think.
No. Did we have any more questions?
I think that's it. I don't think we got anything from our Discord this week.
Which is kind of weird. Let me double check. So they normally...
Yeah, normally we get like 3 or 4 questions from our Discord.
Well, I mean, we got one, but it was literally... Can you
go over the director's cut? Yeah.
Which, that was literally it. So I'll kind of go back to the first one, and then if TWAB doesn't hop on, I guess we can, skip. But it sounds, I'm assuming that there's going to be some spicy details in there.
Yeah,
there has to be if it's taking this long.
So we can.
It's finished, but at the very end, the cursor's still blinking with the word enabled or disabled after power level.
Guys, I need a goddamn answer.
Give me an answer.
So I guess we'll get both of these lists going. So what is your greatest Destiny achievement?
I would say my achievement would be year 1 moments of triumph.
Okay. Now that was kind of a pain in the ass too.
I had them completed before. They were like, here's moments of triumph. Here's a circle. I'm like, oh, done.
Because you're talking about in D1, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because Skolas was...
Yes.
At one point, 1 week, he was the easiest activity Destiny has ever seen when it was Solar Burn, and you just went in there.
And then the following week, it was Light Switch and Juggler.
Yeah.
On Arcburn.
I remember doing that, and I was at Skolas for like We didn't finish it. We were probably in there just at Skulllost alone for probably 4 hours, and at one point we were just like, okay, we can't do this.
Another memory. I have all these memories. My first time killing him, I was with the LFG group for 4.5 hours, and then one of the guys quit, and the other guy was like, "I'm sorry," and he went, "Okay, whatever." And then I joined another group, and we beat him in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We had 3 Titans with 3 Galahorns. And the dude's like, look, all you got to do, drop your weapons bubble. Let's fry him with Galahorns. And then we're going to go to the other side. We're going to do it again. And we had him dead before the first set of freaking mines came up.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
I'm just like, wow. Like, and I just spent 4.5 hours with these other guys.
It was so weird. It was at one point the easiest activity Destiny's ever seen. That
it seemed so hard. But this guy's like, we're gonna fry him with Galahorns twice, and then he's gonna be dead. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. I would have lost a bet if I were to bet against you.
Man, that just reminds me of like the Prestige Leviathan we ran a few times. I don't remember if Sully was there, but. We had, you know the Prestige Leviathan where at the end you punch a guy and you go in and another guy comes out in the Void World?
I never beat Prestige Leviathan. That's actually, I had a raid group that I still talk to this day. We're from different states. We met on LFG in 2015, but we still talk to this day, send each other birthday cards, whatever. The day Leviathan Prestige dropped, the fact that the raid was so much harder, but our light level did not increase, that's the day they quit playing Destiny. We made it to the pools, and my buddy Chris was like, fuck this, and the group disbanded, and that was it. They quit because of Prestige Leviathan. So because of that, I never beat it. I never tried. I didn't want to. Sad story.
So we had, I think we spent like something like 6 or 5 hours on the Leviathan, like just the last part. And it was because someone was not using their microphone for doing the call outs. And that's literally, that pissed me off so fucking much. And everyone was done.
We beat Skolos with a guy without microphone. And we were like, just dance when you have the screen herpes and your time is up. So he danced and I took the thing from him. And
if he did speak, he would say the wrong thing. So, yeah. And so everyone just quit. We left. And then I went and did Prestige with a LFG and we finished it in 10 minutes. It's super easy.
It's amazing. It's American Noob in chat. He said, the story is how you would sell the game to me if I wasn't already a player. But I didn't like the going to the tower first thing. I wanted to follow the path and other Guardians did. Farm first.
Farm first.
Oh, the story is how
new light players didn't have to go to the farm?
Like Red War. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. I agree.
If you play the story mode, the story missions, and you're interested in all these characters and factions and enemies, I'm pretty into the lore. I'm not a lore buff or anything, but I love just reading and watching lore videos.
I'm the complete you could give me a new mission and they could be like, Guardians, there's a boss at the end of this fight, go get him. All right, boss, on my way. That's it. That's all you got to tell me.
Kill the bad guy.
There's a boss. He has loot. Okay.
I'm kind of in between. Go. Let me just kill shit. Let me enjoy killing this thing. Be potentially for some cool loot.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's it.
But I do kind of like to know a little bit about the lore. But yeah, I'm not I'm gonna read all this lore. I want to listen about all this lore. So I once again that is really cool that we do have that option in Destiny. Trying to think of my biggest achievement in Destiny. Honestly, probably just building this clan right now in Destiny.
That's a pretty good answer.
I went from probably never raiding in Destiny 2 to being a raid Sherpa in Destiny. We actually have a really cool clan on PC that's just really chill. Everyone's laid back. Everyone's pretty much down to kind of, if they have free time, to help out other people. If it's getting Izanagi's, or if it's just to run the raid again. And even though they may not receive anything, they're just kind of there for just the funds. Or people playing comp together. Trials, I think, will be a blast for our clan, people just hopping in, playing Gambit, Crucible. To me right now, it's not necessarily in game of Destiny, but it's surrounding the game of Destiny. our clan, our Discord page anyway, has gone from like, I think it was at one point, I met Kane on Twitter. I think you were looking for people.
Yep.
And I think you might have made a server. Because I was at GuardianCon at the time.
I didn't make a server, but I had a group, like a Discord group. It wasn't a server, it was just a friend group where we were all in it. And then I think Mike made the server.
Yeah, and then Mike, because at one point, like, I hopped back in to, like, type something, but, like, the group was gone. I'm just like, what happened here? Then Mike sent me a text like, hey, I'm going to make a Discord server for us. And I think we had, like, maybe 4 or 5 people.
We had,
and
like,
now we're up to, like...
At the beginning, I think it was, like, maybe under 10, like 7 or maybe 12.
And now we're up to, like, 153 people now.
That's
are all
insane.
those, you know, super active? No, but, like, everyone's always, you know, super friendly, you know, good morning.
We know basically pretty much everyone that's in there.
Yeah, so that's probably my greatest accomplishment, you know. I've made so many great friends because of the clan. We have this podcast now.
Yeah, and they message us and are like, hey, like, you can kick me from the clan if you want, but I'm on a break. I'll come back later. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
It's fine. You can come back.
Right?
Yeah, it's all good. No TWAB still. So I think we're just going to end it here. I think...
I do want to take one moment, if you guys don't mind. I want to plug something. Xbox Guardians, if you are into Sparrow Racing League tournament next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We did one last month. We had 48 racers.
Oh, jeez.
A couple didn't show up. They kind of forgot, whatever, but we had 48 racers. Rundown is we have even fire teams. We had 48, so that was 8 fire teams of 6. We all run at the same exact time. No overdrive Sparrows, no Sparrow Racing League gear because it gives you boosts. There's Guardians that don't have the gear, so that gear is not allowed. 6 Guardians to a team, you come in last place, you're out. 5 Guardians to a team, you come in last place, you're out. 4 Guardians, you come in last place, you're out. Then we have 8 teams with 3 Guardians, you merge them. Now we have 4 teams. And we broke it down until we had one winner. And the one winner was the guy that joined 20 minutes before we started. So... hit me up on Twitter at Anna_Bray_Tech. It's my pinned tweet. It's a nice, sweet little image explaining all the rules, and we get together in Discord, and it's good times. The first one was a great success. This time we don't have as many people, and it's next Saturday. So I'm trying to get more people. Join me, Xbox. Good times.
Okay. Did you happen to bring us a question?
I did not. Okay. I was going to, but I didn't.
I mean, this episode has been really long.
Yeah,
and actually really
it's probably
good,
our longest podcast we've done.
I will give out my go-to, though.
What's up?
If you could do one thing in Destiny, past or present, and that was the only thing you're ever allowed to do again, big or small, what would it be? Like running, like anything, running patrols on the moon, or the Vault of Glass, or punching your friend in the face at the tower for hours.
That'd be Canes.
One thing. What would it be?
Can't do that.
Mine, give you an example. Mine would be hunt Wolf's chest for House of Wolves keys because we can't do it anymore. And when we did do it, I enjoyed it. Running back from Ember Caves to the cistern and back and forth.
That was a good time.
That would be my answer.
I missed when they
can't
did.
Ever do anything else, but I will do it.
With no HUD. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that is fun.
We did that before. We did that before on stream, and it was so great. I was so into it that I had somebody come and chat, and I ignored them, and I felt so terrible.
For me, it would probably just be, honestly, Crucible. Like, even though I'm not, like, the hugest Crucible player, but, like, it wouldn't be repetitive, even though, like, it kind of is. But, like, it's always different maps, different players. So.
It's a good answer. Good answer.
I don't know what to pick for me, man.
There's so much. Like I said, Vault of Glass as a whole, or maybe even...
I mean, unless I can just say raids, and that means all raids.
Yeah.
But I think that's almost
valid.
too...
It's an open answer.
Yes.
Yep, that's valid.
If I have to limit it down to... like, because it's going to be a raid for me. And I haven't played a whole lot of D1. So my raid would have to be... like, I really love Leviathan. And it would have to be Prestige Leviathan. Even with with the terrible loadouts at times where it's like sidearms and fucking
Double AR.
Double AR.
Oh, shout to my homies that I lost to that raid. That was one of the dumbest decisions they ever made. Up until then, the thing was, here's a raid. And then 2 weeks later, here's higher light level, but a harder raid. This time they were like, here's a harder raid, but no light level increase.
Yeah.
Have fun.
All right.
I lost my team because of that, Bungie. Just saying.
Rip.
All right. So we're going to end the show here. Let me refresh one more time just in case. And nothing. All right.
American Noob said mayhem would be his answer.
Mayhem.
Or her. I didn't mean to assume your gender. I'm sorry. Their answer is mayhem.
So, Anna Bray.
I know all about people assuming genders.
Anna Bray, where can the people find you?
At Anna_Bray_tech on Twitter. I am very, very, very active. I'm very addicted to Twitter.
He's very active.
And mixer.com/the_real_side
Here, I'm gonna actually, I think.
Which my gamer tag is probably going to be changed. It's been my gamer tag for like 10 years now, but I think I'm gonna pay the $10 and change it to Anna Bray Tech.
I would ask Sully, but Sully's doing something.
He's typing all the things.
Okay, you can find. I'll vamp while he's doing stuff. So you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas. Also here at Twitch as Kane Plays Stuff. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can download the episodes there. Visit chargeshot.com for audio, video, and written content. And you can email me personally at thomas@chargeshot.com. And Sully.
If there's any wrestling fans out there, Smacked Raw podcast, that's me. I run the AEW side.
I'm going to be listening to it.
Moxley about to win the title, even though I don't want him to.
I want him to.
I'm all about heels, man. Baron Corbin, Lacey Evans, Inner Circle, all them guys.
I can't believe you're a Baron Corbin fan. You're the only
I
one.
love my Baron Corbin. Funny, really fast, super story. I talked trash to him on Twitter, and then he blocked me, and then I became a fan, and like I rallied the wrestling community together, and he unblocked me. I was like, yes, that's yes.
Cinderella story.
It's so great. And then like a month later, somebody like took a screenshot of him telling somebody, once you're gone, you never come back. And I was like, bullshit.
Bullshit.
All right, Sully, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, Instagram, and now YouTube at Sully__games.
All the YouTubes.
Thank you everyone for coming on out. Thank you for all the messages in chat and all the questions and all that good shit. Until then, Guardians, eyes down.
Valkyrie's online.